And we should be live. Good evening, people. Hope you can hear me. Is the audio okay? Is the video okay? If somebody can just stick something in the chat for me so I know that things are all right. So I'll just wait for someone to do that. Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for turning up, everyone. It's great to see so many of you here. I can see 12 people in chat at the moment, which is brilliant. I'll just turn the volume down on that because quite clearly that's up and running. Hello from Devon. Fantastic. Thank you, Derek. Good evening, everybody. This is somewhat of a rushed video. And I explained in the description for this. I explained in the description for this video why it's rushed. Basically, the reason is I got this machine a couple of days ago. I wanted to wait until I had my new video area makerspace finished, but unfortunately, scratchy. Oh no, don't like scratching. Unfortunately, I have run out of time. Reason being, I'm about to go on holiday, and I needed to get this out before the weekend. Maybe a loose mic wire. This is not what I wanted. I wanted pure high quality audio. Anyway, well, we will endeavour to keep going because this is, barring putting my headset on, this is basically what we're going to have to deal with. So hopefully you can put up with the terrible audio, and we'll try and sort it out another day. So yeah, the thing is that this machine is new to the market. Geeetech, again, wonderful Geeetech, sent me one for review. But they have a sale coming up. Now their sale is coming up. Just let me check this for you. If you go onto their website, there is a link to their website in the description. Between the 9th and the 12th of November, they are knocking 15% off this printer. It is currently selling on their website for £268.73. So with that 15% off, it knocks about £40 off the cost of the printer. So it brings it down to about 220 odd pounds, give or take. Which is, I think, is a very good deal. The most important thing about that is that Geeetech have been very good, and what they actually do now is they now have warehouses in the UK, in the EU, in America, and in Australia. So when you buy direct from Geeetech's website, you do not have to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks for your printer to turn up. It turns up mine turned up within 4 days. Delivered by DPD, which is a UK delivery company. You don't pay any import tax on it, of course, or duty or anything, and it is free delivery. So basically, what you pay on that screen, the 220 odd pounds it's going to be, is what you pay. So I wanted to get this quick unboxing and look at out in time, so if anybody wanted to buy it, they could buy it while it was discounted. Like I say, the room is nowhere near finished. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. There's hoovers on the floor still down here. But hopefully the lighting, my new LED strip lights, work well enough that we'll be able to see. I've got a close-up cam on standby, so if there's anything anybody wants a closer look at while we're unboxing and while we're having a look, I can do that. But it's going to be a bit of a funny video because, like I say, really the space isn't ready. But fortunately, you know, I had to do it. So we're making the best of it. And we're going to get on and we're going to get it sorted. We're going to just hopefully have a nice little look around this new machine. Not going to be on for hours, not going to be lots of waffling. It's just going to be. So, without further ado, because I don't have a knife handy, I could have just run over my cable. That could have been interesting. Just going to use my screwdriver. We're going to open the box. The information on the website tells me, which I'm now going to pull back up again, the build volume of this printer is 255 by 255 by 255. So that's cool. Today's drink. Today's drink is Diet Coke. It's Diet Coke. It's cherry Diet Coke with a hint of chili, apparently, but I can't taste it. The build volume, so it's 255 by 255. The print speed, maximum print speed, they reckon is 180 millimeters a second. I'd like to see that. So 0.4 meter nozzle. The heat bed maximum temperature is 100 degrees. The maximum temperature for the hot end is 250 degrees. It's a switchable power supply of 110 and 220 volts, and it's a 24 volt 41 amp output. So there you go. So that's the boring bits out of the way. I'm going to have to try and get the screen a bit bigger so I can see what people are putting, because at the moment I am I've only got top chat on. That's not very helpful, is it? I need live chat so I can see what everybody's saying. Evening, Tim. Lovely of you to join, or afternoon as it is where you are in your fair country. Oh, you're having fun at the moment, aren't you, mate? I am reading all your spoutings. They do make me laugh. So, top of the box. We start with that, which we always start with. If you can let me know in the chat if you can't see anything, that would be helpful. Yeah, that's just printing a straight line. T for T. That's just going to be one continuous straight line at 180 millimeters a second. They don't expect you to go around corners or do anything like that. You're just going to be going. Ugh! That's how they calculate those sorts of things. So, in the box, you get. I better turn that way up so you can. Oh no, which way up is it? Is that upside down to you? You see, this is what you like about me. I can't even tell which is the right way up. Anyway, you get the quick start guide, which really, quite frankly, I don't think we're going to need, are we? We have the printing specifications in the box as well, so I didn't have to look it up on the website. I could have just read it from there. So that's that. So we'll take the top layer off, and we shall see what's inside. Oh, look, there we go. We'll put that on the floor, so I'm making even more mess in the room now. So, top layer, we have a bag of bits, including a woefully small amount of blue PLA, which I'm sure won't print anything that's on the SD card. Never mind. The obligatory Geeetech mouse mat. I'm going to say you can never have too many of those. That's probably quite a good job because I've got hundreds of them. But there you go. A UK power supply. That's good. That's a step up from one of the previous ones where I ended up with some EU thing. We have two extruders, Geeetech branded. No, now look at that. That's actually got a build date on it, and it says the 14th of the 7th of 2018. So that's a fairly new build. There's the extruder gear. So you all know what that's a. We won't say copy. We will say a clone of. We all know what that is. We've all seen lots of those before. Space there for the filament sensors, which is good. Checking the chat again. Can't see your head. No, you can't see my head, Richard, but you can read my t-shirt. More to the point. So yeah, two extruders, as you would hope, with a twin extruder machine. It's always good to have two extruders. And the main part of the frame, which really isn't the bit I can't wait to see. It's the next bit. Now the thing with this is we do have the single bearings. Geeetech have started putting single bearings in all their wheels rather than twin bearings, ones pushed from either side. Some people are a little concerned that it's going to cause issues with bearings wearing out and one thing or another. I think, to be honest, if that's an issue to you, what does the t-shirt say? It says, despite the look on my face, you are still talking. I wear this for the missus. She takes no notice. Anyway, back to the bearings. Yeah, if you think it's going to be an issue, go out and buy some more bearings. They're not expensive. I've not had an issue with the A20M, which is running the same bearing configuration, which just is a single bearing. So I'm not bothered to buy it. And like I say, if I need to go out and buy more bearings, what are they, 20 quid? I think for a full set. Not a lot anyway. So have a look at the assembly here. Fan on the front. A fan on either side of the heat block there. There's your two PTFE tubes coming out. Now they're already inserted this end. The reason why they put them in this end is because you have to make sure they're pushed right the way into the bottom. Otherwise you do have issues with getting lots of blockages if you don't make sure those PTFE tubes are all the way in. On the back of here, I am hoping to see, yeah, there is pins there for plugging in your BL touch sensor. That is your mount there for your BL touch sensor. And Geeetech have done a wonderful thing with their GitHub. They've got their GitHub set up in such a way it's very easy to navigate for a start. If you want to have a BL touch set up on this, you can go onto their GitHub. You can download the latest version of Marlin that it runs with. You can also download the config for the sensor, for the BL touch sensor. You just flash them using the Arduino flash program straight onto the machine and it's up and running. All you have to do is to make sure to set your height. It's very simple. I've already done it on the A20M. I will do a video on it because it is incredibly simple. It's incredibly straightforward. Good evening, Gus. I thought you said you couldn't make it, but you've made it. Well done. That's very nice of you, Gus, to take the time. So yeah, it's really simple to update. You've not got to flash any bootloaders, no messing about like that. And also they have configured the advanced config file, so you can just insert that into your version of Marlin and it will automatically set it up for the sensor. So that's brilliant. Now this is where the issue starts, because now I've not got room on this small table to lay everything out. So I should put that part on the floor very carefully and we shall get down to the next layer, because this is the bit I want to see. This is the bit that I think is important to me. Get this off here like this. And this is clearly the last piece in the box, so we'll take this out and we'll take the box out of the way. Oh, do you know, this looks nice. Right, I'll just move that out of the way for a second. I shall move the box out of the way, like so. Sorry if I'm crackling on the mic. And I shall move that back in like that. So there's your build surface with its protective sheet on it. Here's the main body of the base of the printer itself. We might just switch to the close-up cam for this, just so you can have a little look. Right, anybody hear me now? Do we have audio back? Can somebody tell me if we have audio back, please? Anybody, somebody, nobody? Do we have audio? Yeah. We clearly do, because I've just deafened myself. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, technical issue with battery on my microphone having gone, which was really helpful, wasn't it? But we're back. Sorry about that. Right, so yeah, the important bit of this is this base here, to me. This is the thing that it's all about. There's your power supply. Of course, it's not Meanwell. Kind of wouldn't expect it to be. But very nicely laid out. Lots and lots of room in here. I have a cunning plan. Not quite sure how it's going to work out yet, but I do have a cunning plan for the future for this. And that is to take one of these Raspberry Pis, and if maybe with all this space there is under here, I could mount that inside here, possibly to the side of the case like that, or something like that, and then actually wire all that in, and then hopefully we'll be able to do it all hidden away underneath, nice and well put together, so there's no cables all over the place for it. But yeah, no, it's really nicely put together, really solid. I mean, gauge of the metal, I mean, it's probably only going to be a couple of mil. Where's my micrometer? We shall grab the micrometer and we shall have a look. I should take these off my head because I don't think I need these anymore. Coming live from the PLA room, absolutely. The somewhat unfinished PLA room, I hasten to add. But never mind. You know. Right, so gauge of the metal is... It's about 2 mil. It's 2 mil thick, but it's good. It's solid. It's well put together. I'll take my pie back out of there because that's... I mean, it's things like the hole there. That's not been hacked out with a screwdriver, or a chisel, or a, you know, anything like that. It's been properly done. It's a nicely put together thing, which is good. Now, I want to have a look what this board is as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll grab an Allen key before we go any further, and we'll have a look. Tom, my goodness, good evening, sir. I hope you're well rested after your busy couple of weeks. I really do hope you're well rested after your busy couple of weeks, because it must have been an absolute nightmare for you. So yeah, I'm going to take the top off this because I want to see what this board is, and I want to see what this fan is, because this is quite a large fan. How noisy it's going to be, we will find out. I'm not certain whether I'm actually going to print anything. I'm sorry, Kat. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get that far down the road with it this evening. But we're certainly going to get it powered up, and we're going to hear how noisy it is. But that's a whacking great fan on there for a little board. So we are going to grab some Allen keys, and we are going to get that cover whipped off, and we're going to see what board it is, what revision it is, before we go any further. And of course, the first thing I'm going to do... Oh, dude! Ah, thank you very much indeed. I certainly will. I will... thoroughly enjoy a beer, and I will be thinking of you while I have it, mate. I really will. We'll get ourselves sat in a pub one afternoon, and I will get the missus a glass of water, and I will get me a beer, and I'll say, I was given this. Yeah, it's not quite finished, unfortunately, Tom. I've not quite managed to get to that stage, but like I was explaining to everybody else, this printer has turned up. It's on sale in the next few days with 15% off and free shipping in the UK, and it is shipping from the UK as well. They now have a warehouse here, so there's no import taxes to pay on it. There's no waiting 2 weeks for Geeetech machines to turn up anymore. They now are there. in the UK. DPD delivered this within 3 days to my door. Happy smiley faces, no import tax, no nothing. So I was well chuffed. And I just thought, while they've got this special sale coming up for the 11th, let's get a video out. Let's let people see this new machine. And then you never know, somebody might buy one. Oh my God! Tim, you're a bugger. Pardon my French. And Tom as well, you are also evil. Red Bull? No, not Red Bull. Good Lord, no. No, we don't do Red Bull here. We do hand-pulled cask ales. Can't you tell by the beard? Dude, Tim, that's fantastic, mate. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That will go a long way to making this space more habitable. And Tom, you're a dude. I can get the missus a glass of wine now. So there you go. Between you guys, I've actually managed to get a whole round in. Which is brilliant. I'm just reading your comments. I'm not ignoring any of you. Hey, if you want me to get me to hate you, just keep throwing me tips, It's fine. So anyway, let's have a look at what this board is, because I don't think Neris looked in here. I know he's had his weeks. He gets his from Gearbest. I can't get mine from Gearbest yet, because I'm not a big enough, content provider. But I know Geeetech have to send some of their first machines must go to I say sorry, just staring at the fan. Yeah, their machines, their first selection of machines must go to Gearbest, so Gearbest get them before even Geeetech are able to sell them on their own website. So because of this, Neris had his machine 3 weeks ago, but mine's just come. And let's have a look at the board. Okay, so it's the GT2560 revision 3. So it's exactly the same board as it is in the A10M. So no difference with the board. It's still got the removable drivers on there, which I think is a very good idea. Nice cable management. Everything in shrink wrapped cable coverings, and then that horrible meshy stuff that nobody likes. But yeah, very clean and tidy. Very clean and tidy. Let me just pull this. This could be a big mistake, pulling this camera down. I might never get it back up again. Let's see if it'll get it to focus. Not particularly well. But it's all crammed in there. It's all there. There's nothing particularly exciting to see, except there is a spare driver port there for something. That's your that's extruder 1 and extruder 2 is off that driver there. I know that because we were looking the other day. But yes, the build quality is looking exceptionally good. Geeetech have come a long way in a very short time. I know I say this every time I unbox one of their machines, but if somebody else sent me a machine, I would probably say the same about theirs. Nice big fan. What size is that then, guys? I'm going to check it, but you're going to tell me it's 40mm or 50mm. It's a 50mm fan, which is possibly the largest fan I've seen for a control board. Wonder how noisy it will be. But neatly put together. Oh, now you see, this is where the fun starts. I've got to put it back in now. Sorry, I'm reading. What drivers does it have? That's a very good question, and I should know because I've got some spares somewhere. I I will try and read it, but with my old knackered eyes. I've got some, if you bear with me, Gus, I'll whip out some of the spares I've got. In the very early days of my existence, I actually got them to send me some spare drivers. I thought I had an issue on my A20M with a driver, but they sent me some spare ones, and then I found out that it was actually my fault. But I got some spare drivers out of it, so that was good. Is there a reason I'm doing this bit? I just wanted to see what it was. That's it was just me being inquisitive to see which board was in it. No other reason than that, and it is exactly the same board that's in the A20M, which is a different board, of course, to what is in the A10, because you've got to have that second extruder capability, which the A10 board doesn't have. So we'll get that screwed back in again. Tim is too busy ranting about politics at the moment to take any notice of anything else. Good evening, Matt, or should I say Jake from State Farm, but I'll say good evening, Matt, because I know the truth. All right, Gus, thanks so much for dropping in, mate. I do appreciate it, because I did note your message to say that you wouldn't be able to get him. So thanks for bobbing in and saying hi. Very, very good of you. Do appreciate it, mate. I know you're always here if you can be. No, Ben, I just being nosy, mate. That's all it was. Just being nosy. Wanted to see what was in there. Right, so the actual construction. I might actually just really upset you all and pull that up so you can see my horrible head. See, hair's a mess, not shaved. Really not set up for doing this. Construction for this couldn't be much simpler. It's 4 bolts, basically, through the bottom of here. You've got your holes, so it's 4 bolts into there. And that's pretty much it built, apart from putting the extruders on. And as usual, Neris jumps on my blooming stream and starts streaming a live build. So this is where you all disappear now. Right, so we will attempt to put this machine together. Won't take a lot of doing, like I say. The easiest way of doing this I've found yes, thanks, Richard. You know, just tell everybody that Neris is doing an unboxing. Thanks, mate. You know, appreciate that. So everybody now leaves my stream and goes and watches Neris's instead. I don't know. Oh, right, just bear with me. We might get a bit crackly again for a minute. Right, so the easiest way I found of doing this is, rather than tilting everything up and prattling about doing that, you get your right sized Allen key. You get your right sized Allen key. They've still given me that spanner. Can somebody out there explain to me why I have a spanner of that size? I really ought to pull this up with them. They send this spanner this big, and I have yet to find a nut that it fits. I've never needed it on my machine ever, and I don't understand why they put it in the kit. I don't get it. Ben, it's fine, mate. I get it. You can always watch mine back and laugh at my mistakes and my audio dropping out and everything else. Right, so what I do is I just take the edge of the machine off the table like that, and then I can locate 1 bolt like that. I can pick up my gantry like that, set it on, line it up, The most interesting thing about Neris at the moment is he's now back the right way around again. It looks like YouTube have sorted out the issue they had with the front-facing cameras on his phone, and he's now back around the right way, which must be nice for him. They must know I like spanners. I'm sick to death of spanners at the moment. Ben, it's fine. I've got your money. You can go. I'm only joking, of course. Do you know, that's quite amusing, that. A20M. I'm still waiting to see these dual machines that they are bringing out. They've been sort of mentioning it on several occasions that they're going to have one that's dual-headed. So it's going to be the A10D and the A20D, which would be a very, very interesting machine. Ah, now you see, there's always somebody sensible in chat, isn't there? How many times have I moaned about that spanner and somebody's just pointed out what it's for? Well done, sir. Congratulations. I think you're absolutely right. You could well be that just sits round the heater block for taking your nozzle off. Fantastic. Perfect. We'll have to find a heater block and check it, but I reckon you're right, mate. I've been bad-mouthing them all these times about why have I got that spanner, and you've just hit the nail on the head, dude. Fantastic. Give that man a cigar. Right, so that's those two done that side without any issues at all. Something I also wanted to speak about, I don't know whether any of you guys have been following this. I've had a couple of people contact me through YouTube about a video I did on putting dampers on the stepper motors of Ender 3s. And something that Creality have started doing is causing an issue with this. They have started fitting to the Y-axis stepper. The stepper that fits on has a cog on, which does not have a grub screw in it. It's either a tapered shaft or it's a push fit cog, which means when you fit your stepper damper, you cannot line the Y-axis belt up because you cannot move that cog, which I think is a heck of an oversight on their part. Quite why they're doing it, I don't know. But apparently that's what they've started doing. I've had several people who have followed my video with their brand new Ender 3s and unfortunately are unable to fit the one on the Y carriage because they've done this stupid thing with the stepper motor. Now I don't know whether that's cheaping out or what reason they've done it for, I don't know, but it's causing people issues. Right, talking of causing people issues, I can't get this bolt to go in. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat and get me bolts at the same time and everything else, and it's quite frankly, just go and watch Neris. Go on, off you go. He's not out of the box. Is he still talking about moving? Is he still on with that? I don't know how he's getting on with that. And his bus. Wouldn't it be great to have that bus and just fill it with 3D printing stuff? That would be fantastic. Only in America. Yeah, it is not an affiliate link. I hasten to add, I do get nothing from it. They will not know that it's come from me. So don't, by all means, use the link in the description, but it doesn't do me any favours, is all I'm saying. The only way to do me any favours would be to buy it from GearBest, using the affiliates I have with GearBest. But it's not about that. It's about the fact it's going to be cheap and the fact that it's in the UK. So you're going to get it quick and you're going to get it cheap. and any issues with quality control or anything like that, when the companies turn around and say, oh well, you have to go back to the person you bought it from, well, you've bought it direct from Geeetech, so you know it's a lot better for solving issues. Geeetech are brilliant at solving issues anyway. You just need to get hold of them on Facebook, and they're there like a shot. So that's it. That's those 4 bolts in. So that's the main body of the thing put together. I have noticed something. A pet hate. Put that on there. Spool holders. They've still got the holes the wrong way around. So when you put them on there, you're going to have to just use one T-nut to hold it in place. Unless, of course, you download from Thingiverse my little adapters. You can't see them. I'm pointing at them and you can't see them. I shall show you. Hang on. This is where it all goes really Pete Tong. If you can see on the machine, they are there and there. They're just a little adapter I designed. My first ever 3D design, which I put on Thingiverse, and it rotates the screws so they work better, so they're the right way around. It also lifts the spool holder higher up, so you can have them sat over the top of these, and you can get a full-size spool on without it touching. Not a full-size, sorry, a narrow spool. If you put a narrow spool on, when you've got that set up like that and that set up like that, the spool actually touches the top here. So by using my spacer, it lifts the whole of that arm higher, which means your spools then no longer touch that. It is something they need to address, because it's not necessary to be like that. So these, oh, now look, they've changed the design of those slightly, ever so slightly. So they're just going to bang on like that. They're nice and easy. Let me just read your comments again. Still in the box. Yeah. If you order it, make sure you put Matt in the notes. Haha. Yeah. No, nice one, Hawk. Yeah, by all means, if you do order from Geeetech, in the notes, just stick my name in, just so they know that, you know, thanks to watching this video, you've put your hand in your pocket and you've bought one. Because that will mean in the future they may consider sending me another printer or a gold bar or something. I won a prize today. Don't know whether anybody saw that. BQ are doing a prize giveaway thing for sharing their new machine, the BQ Thunder, which looks interesting. And I think I won a t-shirt, which is interesting. I shall wear that with jeans, probably. See, you can be helpful. You can indeed, my friend. You're not all bad, are you? Hey. Something else just wanted to mention quickly. Anybody out there who has stickers for their YouTube channels or anything like that would like to send me one, I will put a care of address in the description, because the PLA hut is looking somewhat sparse on the walls, and at the moment I've only got one sticker up for one YouTuber, and you can all guess who that is, can't you? It's that one. So I want all of this wall here below me box of tricks that's up there to be covered in Maker's stickers. Or if you've got Maker coins, send a Maker coin and I'll nail that to the wall, or screw it to the wall, or glue it to the wall, or something like that. But yeah, it would be nice just to have something on there, just with a load of stuff from you guys. So while I'm making videos or whatever, I can look up and I can think, ooh, look at all these people that are my friends. You're getting lots of shots at the top of my head. That can't be good. So that's one extruder on. We might just move that over slightly because that's a bit tight in there. But you can see it's not a massive task to put this machine together at all. I just make it look like it. So it's 4 bolts to put the main body together. It's 2 T-nuts per extruder. So we'll move that over there somewhere. Look, we won't overly tighten it because I'll probably have to move it again. Yeah, maker coins, I can glue those to the wall. I can either hot glue them to the wall, or I can put a big hammer and nail through them or something like that. I just want to turn the wall into a bit of a feature. Like I say, and maybe if I get a new one sent through, I'll maybe do a little bit on it and put a link to your YouTube channel in the description of the video while I'm talking about it. Not so much like a proper mailbag thing, because I don't ever expect to get that many parcels. But you know, if you want to send a sticker or a maker coin, or you know, something like that, I'll be sure to stick it on my wall and just try and brighten this place up a little, because like I say, it is a little sparse at the moment. We nearly did a double unboxing this evening. I had another parcel delivered today, which is an early Christmas present from my other half, for this room, because she loves me and she wants me to spend very little time in here. Can we see what that box is over there? She's bought me a freestanding tabletop fridge for my makerspace. So apparently she doesn't want me back in the house. Sensible woman. So yes, we've got those on. I just want to get it fired up, but I suppose I have to put it together properly first. I have one of these wonderful anti-wobble devices for the Z-rods. I know a lot of people say they don't do anything and they cause more trouble than they're worth, but it's there to be put on, so I shall put it on. It can always come off at a later date. Again, 2 T-nuts to fit that. Nothing particularly difficult about it, although I'm making it look difficult at the moment. Again, I am using all the supplied tools, none of my own tools. It's just what comes in the bag, because I think it's important that they give you the tools for the job, including apparently a spanner for holding a block while removing a nozzle from a hot end that I didn't know I had. So that's that on. A log stove. Don't need a log stove. I have actually got a little convector heater down there that I got the other day, which is making this place toasty warm. And that's without firing any of the printers up. I would think if I fired the printers up, I'd be boiling. First print thoughts. I honestly don't know. I'll be honest with you, looking at the machine, there is very little difference between this and my A20M. Very little. Build size is bigger, of course, and it's more encased. It's got this wonderful housing, which I think is really nice. I think it's a really good feature. As for the print quality, I expect it to be exactly the same as my A20M. I wouldn't expect it to be any worse. It's just a slightly different form factor, slightly different design, and it intrigued me. So I thought, let's have a look. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, they're expecting you to put them on with one bolt like that, which does work. But like I say, the issue you have is if you've got a narrow spool, you are going to have the issue of the spool touching on here, which is no good to man the beast. Now the difference between the A20M and the A10M is this solid metal base case, which encompasses everything. Your screen, everything is all in one piece. Your fan is now underneath, so you don't have that issue of filament dropping through the fan holes like you do on the A10M when you have to print the little fan guard. So you've got none of that. It's all underneath. It's all out of the way. It's a 250 by 250 by 250 print area. It's got the same oven door as we call it. Heat bed. It's a 41 amp 48 volt. No, brain's gone dead. Tell you, 24 volt 41 amp power supply. So it'll heat up fairly quickly, but we'll see how quickly it heats up in a moment. For those of you that are interested and know what it means, the LCD is the, I did see that, it's LCD 12864, whatever that means. I don't know whether that's something special or not. Yeah, by all means, anybody who needs some subs, have a shout out now. Get your name up there. Just say sub me. If you are in this channel and you haven't subbed anybody that's in this channel that wants subs, please do. Every sub helps. Apart from anything else, it makes us feel wanted. And if we feel wanted, we're more likely to, you know, actually put some content out there. I've been incredibly remiss lately with doing any content. I've been so busy at work, and of course not having somewhere to actually do it from has been a big issue. But we're moving forward with that now, as you can see, because I'm in here. Like I say, it's nowhere near finished. But thanks to Tim's fantastic donation this evening. That's going to go a long, long way. Towards getting me finished off, which is fantastic, and I do appreciate it. Tim, if you are still in the room, you might have fallen asleep by now. And I put these on wrong. I'm not looking at what I'm doing. First rule of Fight Club. Always cock something up on your live stream. Always. Because it makes people laugh. So what you have to remember to do when you're doing these is actually put them on right. Again, I'm not looking at the instructions. I think I did this when I did the A10 as well. I think I made exactly the same mistake. Which is, how can I put it? Stupid of me, I think is possibly the best way of putting it. Go back to the chat. People are laughing at me. Yeah, and but they've still not done anything about changing the actual, you know, they could have, if you actually looked at what I did a video on drilling 2 holes in it the other way around so they would fit, Richard. And they've not taken up that idea, and they've not taken up the idea of my little mount either. That little mount I designed on Thingiverse for these spool holders has been downloaded over 400 times, and like I say, that was my first ever bit of work on Tinkercad. Never done any 3D design work before. That's not really my forte, isn't design. I'm far too ham-fisted to be drawing things technically. I'm much better at just dropping bolts on the floor. You know, I'm more practical with my sort of skills than I am sort of design and that kind of thing. But it worked well. It took 4 or 5 different attempts to get it to all the screws to line up and stuff. But like I say, over 400 times it's been downloaded, so clearly it's working for people. So that's how they should be, look. That's what I should have done to start with. And then I'll just grab a spool from up here and you sit your spool on like that. But look how close that is. That's really close to rubbing. So my thing does, it lifts it up. I'll see what it actually says to do in the instructions, shall I? because it might say something different. And on the quick start guide, it literally shows you what I've done. Let me get that into shot. So it just expects you to do them like I've done them there. But like I said, the issue with that is if you're not very careful, your spools will touch. So go on to Thingiverse, look up A10, I think I got it down as A20M spool holder modifier or something like that, and it lifts them up and it gives them more support so they don't touch like that, because that is still a design fault. Come on Geeetech, pull your finger out. I mean, it works with that. I don't think I've got a narrow spool to hand, but you can imagine if your spool's narrower, it's going to touch on there and give you all sorts of grief, which you don't want, do you? So far that's my only issue. It's an issue that they should have sorted out by now, but they haven't, so hopefully they'll listen this time. Don't read the destruction manual. I really do try not to. If at all possible, I try not to, because I feel that's sort of, you know, letting the side down somewhat. So, cable time. Let's see how easy this little lot is, shall we? So we've got all sorts of stuff here, all bundled up together. Now then, does it explain in the massive instructions on where the cables go? Yes, it does give you some sort of instruction, so that's fairly good. So what we don't get in the kit is a pair of side cutters to clip through these cable ties. Side cutters, side cutters, side cutters. That's what happens when you're not organised. Are they labelled right? Well, that's a very good question, which is why I always do my unboxings live, because if there is an issue with the machine, I can't hide it. So I've got a very short cable here, which has a label on it that says, it's unreadable because it's wrapped around the back. It says WZ. I know where it goes. He says that fits into there like that. Now then, we have ZES, which I'm guessing is Z end stop. So that will go down and we'll clip up into there. He still hasn't opened his box. Oh my god. Oh, little bit of wobble on the bed. We'll need to just tighten up those nuts just to get that right. Now then, what have we got here? We have got, this is good because the cables aren't so long that you can't find them. So we've got XM, which so it wasn't W, it was M, so that'll be X motor. So that will go up into there. So this will be XES, so that's X end stop. There's definitely a pattern forming here, isn't there? So that goes into there. The only problem with having these shrouds on these, you know, is you just sometimes have to fight a little. Actually, if I pull that cable around that way, it should be easier. Just to get that into the socket. That's that in like that. So that was simple enough. Then we've got the longer section of cable here, again with another cable tie around it. So we'll carefully snip through that. So that will be the cable. It's like a Molex cable basically. It goes into there like that, and what we will do is we will put a cable tie and cable tie that up to there, so it doesn't flop about all over the place. I'm sure there's some cable ties in the box. There is for cable management. You don't use a lot on these machines because they're laid out in such a way that you don't have a lot of cable floating about. Not like in the days of the A-net when you had to use about 400 cable ties. So we'll just put one of those up there like that to keep that out of the way. So we've got with 2 extruder ones here. And then the little thin wires you can see there are for the filament sensors that I haven't put on yet. So that one goes onto that extruder like that. That one goes onto that extruder like that. We will quickly stick the filament sensors on, if I can find out where I threw them. And we're not far off being ready to power her up. And we'll see how noisy those fans are. 2 spare pieces of PTFE tubing. Should you suffer a hot end meltdown or something like that. Now, where have I put those 2 sensors? Quick slurp of coach. This program is brought to you this evening by Diet Coke Feisty Cherry, apparently. Right. Filament sensors. Down here, on the floor. Sorry, I'm not watching the chat at all, am I? Was that question levelled at me then, Ben? How many printers? Or were you talking to somebody who's being nice enough to actually answer you? Printer-wise, me now, I have got 4 Geeetechs. I have a Geeetech A30, I have an A10 and A20M, and now this. I have a original CR10 with their hot end that they never produced because they got into trouble because it said an E3D V6 hot end on it. But that's there. I've got 2 Ender 3s. I've got the Prusa i3 Mark III with the MMU. I have a BQ Magician, which is a small Delta printer, which I know Kat also has one of. She has a very good video on her channel of her building that and first printing with that. I don't really get on with Delta printers, I'll have to be honest with you. They're not my favorite thing in the world. I just can't get them to work really very well for me. I think it's not my thing, do you know? Did I see somebody join the room then that I didn't say hello to? I'm sure I did. Is that Scala? I bet it is. Now that's just a little bit of a beggar. He's getting that bolt in there. I just need to get these filament sensors on. I don't know why I'm even fitting them because I never turn them on. And you can see the top of my head again. Gosh, that must be terrible for you. I do apologise. Yeah, you did a really good job with that, Kat. Like I say, unfortunately, I just don't get on with them. And I don't know why it is. But I don't. I just can't. They work to a point for me, but I don't get very good prints out of them, and I think it's, like I say, it's more me than the machine. But I think I learnt my lesson, and I think I'll stay clear of Deltas. I don't think they're my brain doesn't work the right way, I think, is the polite way of putting it. Just tightening these 2 extruders up because I'd left them a bit loose in case I needed to move them. So just stick this tiny weeny little plug in here for the filament sensor, which are a clever little system. They work very well. But like I say, I tend not to turn mine on. So yeah, don't forget the reason why I'm doing this, the whole reason why I'm doing this. Geeetech are having a sale starting a couple of days time. I'll give you the exact date in a second. Hang on. If you click on the link in the description, it will take you to the page, and it says 15% off between the 9th and the 12th of November. They are available in warehouses in the EU, the UK, the USA and Australia, which means you do not have to pay import tax. If you live in any of those countries or areas, you do not have to pay the government any money at all. You do not even have to pay delivery unless you are in what is classed as an outlying area. Delivery is free. You are basically getting £40 off the price of the printer in the UK. So it brings it down from 260 something to 220 something, which is not a bad price for a machine of this size. And there aren't many other companies out there that are doing these dual color printers at the moment. I think pretty much Geeetech are leading the way with affordable ones. So that's the Bowden tubes in, that's that in, that's that in. We've got the sensors in. We've got to just tighten up the border, the heat bed a little, which has got a bit of a wobble on it. I shall get my spanner, which I now can't find, and we'll just give that a little schnick. Oh yes, it's just that one there. I need a bigger desk. I think that kind donation from Tim may well go towards a slightly larger desk for doing it. I can't find the spanner. I cannot find the spanner. SD card wise, you get a 1GB SD card, no name manufactured. It's nothing special, nothing super bad look of it, just a bog standard SD card. I cannot believe I can't find the spanner. There was one, I saw it when I opened the packet. I shall just have to grab one of my spares and break my golden rule. Talk amongst yourselves, sing a song, whatever you want to do. Go and watch Neris for a bit, see if he's got it out the box yet. At this rate, I'll have mine up and printing and go and sit and watch him unbox his. Although having said that, I now can't find any spanners. Still in the box. I can't believe it's still in the box. That is ridiculous. I mean, he must have been on, what, 40 minutes? Has he been on? And his machine's still in its box. At least he'll have a spanner at hand. Unlike me. Oh, that's because they're all in there, aren't they? Now I'm going to have to cheat. I'm going to have to cheat just a little bit. Right, what have we got saying in the chat here? Oh, it's being opened now. I better hurry up then, hadn't I? I better hurry up, otherwise everybody will leave if he's opening his box. Just to say, you get the standard blue USB cable. You get that much filament. It's both blue. What is the point of having a printer that you can mix two colours of PLA on if they send you two test sections of the same colour filament? That's a bit on the silly side, might I suggest. Right, that's got the bed sorted out. Didn't need a lot. In fact, if anything, I've given it slightly too much. Right, need to lift the gantry slightly because otherwise it's going to crash into the bed. We are going to remove the sticky. Oh, that's that off. I need a bin in here as well. Right, so final thing to do. I will bring that camera down here. Thanks, Gus. It's definitely getting there, mate. It's not there yet, but we're getting there with it. So I'll put a power supply in. I have checked, we are on 240 volt. It did ship with it switched to the right setting. But just for the sake of double checking, it's actually on the back. So it's visible without having to turn the machine upside down like I've just done. But it does say, I'll pull that down. That is set to 230 volts, so that's absolutely fine. So we're not going to blow anything up, which is always good. So we shall bring this camera around here. So we can see that, and we shall go. Ready for the blue smoke, everybody? In 3, 2, 1. They are single bearings, Mr. Jelly. Single bearings. But I don't see that as an issue. So, there we are, powered up. The first thing it says, error, no filament. So that means that on this machine, the filament sensors are already switched on. Which I know in the A20M you actually have to switch them on. That fan is fairly noisy. Don't know whether you can hear that. I'm sure you can. So you've got all the necessary stuff. All the information is there. Look, you see, it gives you the baud rate in case you should need it. That's your thermistor temps to make sure that everything's right. Well, like I said, Tim, I don't see it as being a big issue personally because I tend not to hammer my machines too much. But then it doesn't cost a fortune to put new bearings in, does it? Sorry, not new bearings. Well, yeah, new bearings. But I mean, sometimes you get sent them. Remember those? Still in the bag. Still ready to go in those hardened wheels. Quite advanced. It certainly sounds a bit quieter than the A10. But yeah, it's sweet. It's powered up all right. I'm just going to have a... You can't really see much there, can you? Whether you can't really see the screen unless I hold it there. So if we go to prepare, we've got all the usual things there. You can disable the steppers. Go at the control. It's very much the basic setup. Nothing out the ordinary. Nothing jumps out that they've changed anywhere in Marlin. Yeah, mixers still exactly the same. Yeah, just makes me laugh that they give you a machine that you're capable of mixing 2 different colours of filament, and the 2 samples they give you the same colour. That's just funny. So what we'll do now is we'll have a quick look and see. Yeah, no, they are just single bearings. Like I say, I've not had any issues with the A20M and their bearings yet. But we'll, time will tell. Of course, full-size SD card again. Marvellous stuff. No messing about with these small SD cards. See if I can show you the slot in the side. So that will just go in. We're going to reckon it's going to be upside down, and it is. And it says card inserted on the front. So what is on the card? We ask ourselves, dog, cat, lizard? Yeah, it's exactly the same as it was on the A20M. So you get the lizard, you get the dog, which is a single colour print but transitions from one colour to the other, and you get the cone. In fact, basically what you get is what I've got up there, because since I've moved my machines into here, I've just quickly printed some stuff out on them just to make sure that they're still working. So I could cheat and go, look, Neris hasn't even started and I've printed 2 things already. Which isn't true. They were just a quick test print done on the A20M when I bought it in here, just to make sure that it was still working, and it was. And it was also a quick test for the BL touch sensor. So that's pretty much it, guys. Unless there's anything that anybody wants a closer look at, build quality is good. No major issues with anything there. There is just the odd little thing that you need to check. You should always check these anyway when you get these machines. But you can see that the tensioner there isn't sat quite square. But that's a simple fix. We'll just loosen that off like that, and we will just give that one a tiny wee little snick of a turn, just to take a bit of the pressure. My goodness, that's been put on well. And then we'll lift that up so that sits level, and then we'll just tighten those back up again. So that's, that's not the end of the world. I will go around and I will check everything, of course, before I print, to make sure the lead screw looked nice and straight, didn't have any problems there. Now, it's just saving money, Mr. Jellies. It's all it is. It's just a way to save a few pounds here and there. You would think, for what it's probably cost them in bearings, they would have put doubles in, but I don't see it as an issue, like I have said on 4 occasions now. But time will tell. I mean, I might well be proved wrong. But I have got some nice bearings that Tim sent me. So if push comes to shove, I can always swap them out for those heavy duty ones I got from Tim, which is fantastic. So there we go, all done, all dusted, up, running, working machine. I will do an in-depth look at it at a later date. I will go through all the usual malarkey with it. We'll get some prints done on it. We'll just do the whole lot. But today was more about getting it out, showing it to you, letting you have a quick look at it. So if you were considering buying one, you've got more of an idea. Good solid construction, nicely put together. The ability to add a BL touch without too much trouble at all. Comes fairly well put together out the box. You've got 4 bolts to put the frame onto the base. You've got to plug your cables in. that's basically about it. You're off and running. Just put the spore holders on. That's the one issue. That's the one downside. No, the BL Touch is just, it's just again, I hate to call it a copy. I think they have them there on their design is a 3D Touch. I think they call them. Yeah, it's a clone. That's the best way to describe it. And it's called the 3D Touch. It works perfectly well. They have them on their website, and they are priced on their website. They're actually quite expensive on their website. But I have found that Geeetech do also sell on eBay, and if you go to, yeah, they're $35 on their website. If you go onto eBay, they generally have 3 or 4 listings, and some of them have buy it now of about £15 or £20, but they also have make an offer. And I do tend to find if you make an offer around the £12 mark, they're generally accepted, and you get it nice and cheap, basically. Yeah, you see, Tim says the clones are not worth it. Get a genuine one. Well, I tell you what, Tim, I might actually do that. I might actually use some of that money that you've just sent me, and I might actually get myself a proper one. You know, you've got to support the original inventors of these kind of things, haven't you? It's just difficult when you're on a budget. It's difficult sometimes to buy the original part. You know, some people just don't have that kind of money, and if they can get something that works, as that does, in fairness to it, it does do the job. And it cost me £14 off eBay. So if you can't afford to, I mean, what is a genuine one now? I honestly couldn't tell you. I can't say I've looked recently, but it seems to probe all right. It prints straight off it, so I haven't got an issue with the copies. They seem to work well. But like you say, really, you should try and look after the original inventor of these things, and put money back in their pockets. But it's not always possible because you don't always necessarily have the money yourself to do it. Right, so unless anybody else has another question for me, Tim, I can also send out some of the refers EBL kits. Well, we could try fitting the ABL kit to these, couldn't we? If anybody would like to see that, if they don't want to go down the route of a BL Touch, and they would like an ABL, to see an ABL kit put on instead, I am quite happy to do that for you. And then you will be able to see what Tim produces, and you'll be able to see if it is something you are interested in. The ABL sensor that Tim produces works an absolute treat. I've never had an issue with those. Very simple to install, but it may be interesting to actually try putting on one of these. I have got one on the A30, which was a very simple install, but we can certainly try them on here. That's entirely up to you, Tim. Just let me know. Yeah, the breakout board is actually what Geeetech now put as standard on the back of these. If I can just bring you down there, the breakout board is there, and your pins are there, and literally it just plugs straight in. It's very, very simple. You can then disconnect your ZN stop like I have done, or you can leave it connected. It makes no difference. Once you've flashed the firmware with the alteration for the 3D Touch or the BL Touch, depending on how you want to describe it, it works. As long as you get your bed leveling sorted, which is a few simple commands through Pronterface or something like that. In fact, I've actually still got that on the screen from when I did that on my A20M. It's 6 lines is all it is. Once you've got it set and you're up and running. Tim, you're more than welcome to stick a link in the description, mate. You have that ability. You've got your hammer there, so stick a link in so Mr. Jelly can see. You know, put it direct to your site. Let him have a look. But yeah, we can do that, Tim. Certainly, mate. Get some over to me, and we'll get them set up. Now, it was good to see you, Gus. Appreciate it, mate. There you go, Mr. Jelly. There's a link there for you that Tim's put on. Always good stuff from Tim. Never had any issues with any of it. So is there anything else anybody wants to see quickly? Just going to show the bed level wheels. They're the larger version. So nice and easy to get your fingers in to tighten them. Not like the tiny weeny little ones that they used to have. It's a 2040 extrusion on the front for the carriage, which is good. Single lead screw. It's not noisy. I'm just gonna, let's get some temperature up on this thing and let's just hear quickly. Right, whacking the fan speed up. Show the hot end setup. Certainly. An interesting setup. I would love to try and cut one of these in half, you know. Right, that's the fan running full speed. Don't know whether you can hear any difference with that at all. I shall just waz my lead screw up. On Mr. Jelly, it detects glass printing surfaces perfectly well. I've got one on my Ender 3, which I have actually got a piece of plate glass on, and it detects perfectly well. I have no issue with it at all. It works on mirror tile. I have one on my original CR10, which is actually just over there, my original CR10. As you can see, that's got a IKEA mirror tile on it, and that's got a sensor on it there, like I say. And if you can't really see, but if I turn around to there, there is one of my Ender 3s that's also got one fitted, and that's got quite a thick glass plate on it, and it still works perfectly well. No issues at all with glass. Right, let's see if we can get a close-up of this hot end. I might just take this off its support, a little jobby. Right, let's get us in here. So there's your nozzle. You want me to make that bit of screen bigger? We might lose my audio, but I'm sure that won't matter to anybody, will it? Yeah, I knew I didn't have any sound when I was doing that, don't worry. I hadn't actually got it turned on for this close-up shot, but hopefully now you can hear me. I was aware, I just wanted to show you the underneath. So allegedly, this here spanner that comes with the kit, well, this is difficult to do from here, fits around the heater block. So when you're taking the nozzle off, not that you can get into it, see, it doesn't actually fit around that heater block. Oh, it will do. I think it would fit on a standard one. I'm not sure that it fits on that one. But yeah, I'm sorry I can't get any better focus. I'm probably just a little bit too close to it. But that's your setup underneath. You can see your thermistor wire coming out there, and then well, actually that's your probe, isn't it? Your thermistor wires are going in there. And there's your cooling fan at the front, blowing straight over the top of the hot end. Never had any problems with cooling on this. Well, on the A10 version, I have not wanted to change the fans at all. But like I said, there's a fan on that side, and there's also a fan, I believe you can just see through the grill there, a fan on that side, and then there's your part cooling fan there, and then just your Bowdens straight up, straight round, and into the extruders, like so. So that's that. So just as Don enters the room, it's time for me to go. Only joking. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If anybody wants any more information, just check out the description. It gives you a link to Geeetech's website where they are for sale. And like I say, if you are in the UK or in the EU or in America or in Australia, they now have local warehouses for you, so you do not have to pay international shipping costs. You do not have to pay import tax. They are shipped direct from your country. It is free shipping as long as you don't live in an outlying area. And for the next 4 days, starting from whenever I said it was, I think it's Friday, there is 15% off. So that will take £40 off the price. So that will take it from being, let's just do GP pounds for you. It'll take it from being I'm just UK warehouse. Do not add the 3D touch. And up to date. Yeah, it brings you about to about £225 for the machine, delivered to your door within 3 days. So I don't think that's a bad price at all. Get on the website. If you want to put in the notes that you saw my video and that's why you've got one, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's also fine. So I'm going to call it a day, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I will do a video on the new playroom or the PLA room when I get it finished, but I just wanted to get this video out there for you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button so you know next time I release a video. You can support me on Patreon or through Streamlabs, or you can do what these three fantastic people have done this evening, which has just been tremendous. Every penny that you send me goes towards the videos that I produce, so it doesn't go on Beer Fund, although I did have a laugh and a joke that it did go on Beer Fund. It doesn't. It goes back into the makerspace, back into buying filament, that kind of thing. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time, and now I've just got to find the screen to turn the stream off. And we will see you again soon.